Hello everyone, I am Alyan Fiverrwala and I am delighted to be your host today. We have a special guest with us, someone whose journey is nothing short of inspiring. Today we are diving deep into the world of creativity, innovation and success with none other than Mr. James, lovingly known as O.J. His remarkable career spans various fields and we are here to uncover the secret behind this achievement. So, welcome, Mr. James. How are you? It's pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. We haven't really met that. We don't really know each other that well. Where are you from?
Pakistan.
Oh, right on, dude. Yeah, I have some friends from Pakistan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So, before moving on the question, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is James Hurst, and I have a background in software development. So I went to school for computers and marketing as well. Is my background. I got started as early as on eBay. eBay was founded in like 1995, and I think I was selling a few things on eBay in like 1999. Um, and so that was kind of my first introduction to online marketing. And then I ended up making websites in school. I ended up having a window cleaning business, and I did my own website there. And that got me a little bit into search engine optimization, some Google ads. And from there, I went on to graduate and do some computer programming, but I always liked marketing online and making websites. That kind of got me introduced to ClickFunnels, and I started getting involved with ClickFunnels. And then from there, I got more involved with High Level, and that's what I do today is teach people how to use High Level, and I consult with other different organizations, and as well as I run my YouTube channel. So that's a little background.
That's great. Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. So, my first question in your screen, could you please introduce yourself and tell us about your background and career journey?
Well, I just did. That was basically it. So maybe let's go to the next question. What inspired me to pursue a career in my current field? I think everybody kind of desires to have a certain amount of freedom, right, in their life. They want financial freedom. They'd like to have enough money to be able to pursue their dreams and their passions, and as well time freedom, right? So that you have the not only money, but you also have the time to be able to go and maybe take trips, different things. I think people really just have a desire for a complete freedom, and so I don't know. I've been in jobs where I felt like I had to show up. I was it was a classic. They call it the 9 to 5 job, and I just didn't. I was always like looking at the clock, and I really wanted something that I would just be passionate about. That I would just work, and no one would have to tell me to go to work, but yeah, I also wanted that freedom to be able to come and go, and not have to ask, if I could take a certain day off, or to go to a kid's basketball game, or that kind of thing. So I felt like I wanted a career, and I wanted something that had freedom, and I also didn't want to be stuck in like in the real world. You might make like a 2% raise. You might make a 2 or 3% raise, and online, you make as much as you can sell. As there's no artificial limits to what is possible online. So
That's great. So, can you describe some of the major milestone in your professional life?
yeah, so I I graduated high school, and then from there, I ended up serving a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints. I ended up going to Warsaw, Poland, and that definitely was a great experience as a young man to live in a foreign country, and learn a new foreign language. I came back from that and ended up graduating from college in information systems from BYU, and then from there I had my career in software development. One of the other milestones would have been getting the ClickFunnels Dream Car Award, right? So they have a program where if you get 100 people referred to using the software, then they will pay your car payment. So they don't just buy you a car and say, here's your car. They give you a monthly payment towards the car as long as you stay above 100. So that was definitely a great experience. And and then as far as for high level, I'm not a dream car winner yet for high level, but it is something I was working towards as well.
All right. So, how do you stay motivated and creative in your work?
Yeah. If I also, can you leave the questions up in case I need to like look back at them again? Is that okay? I don't know. Because I've kind of forgot some of the questions after you took them away.
Can you
But
repeat, please?
oh, I was just, if you can can you leave the question up eh, while I'm looking at it?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, because I might lose my train of thought and wonder what the question was again. Because I think one of the things with entrepreneurs is they kind of have maybe a little bit of ADHD, where you're kind of like a little bit all over the place. So that helps me to remember what the question was. How do I stay motivated and creative in your work? So as you're working, you're gonna get ideas of things. As a YouTube channel, I constantly need to be thinking of, oh, that would make a good video, or that's a good question. So I having like on my phone, I might have some notes on different YouTube videos I might want to make. That being said, um, motivation, there's sometimes that I would just naturally be I would just I'd be happy and I would go and but other times you get out of bed and you kind of you have to be self motivated. You have to sometimes maybe like going to the gym. Sometimes, hey, yeah, let's go. I'm excited to go to the gym. Other times you're just like, oh man, I just not today. It's too cold outside. That kind of thing. So it's not always easy. Um, and sometimes it can be very, very challenging. So I don't have an easy answer for that. Reading, sparks different ideas, seeing what other people are doing as well. And then as you're working, it seems like you have ideas.
All right. So, are there any specific project or achievement that you are particularly proud of?
Yeah. So, winning the Dream Car Award, like I had said before, was pretty cool. Be able to go up on stage and collect that award. Going to conferences, attending many different conferences was a dream of mine. I also got to speak at a few different smaller conferences, and being on interviews like this as well. And then let's see here. Any specific or achievements that you're particularly proud of? I guess also, leaving my full-time job was kind of a big milestone, right? So I worked, a normal job, and now, I just work full-time online. So
All right. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you have faced in your career and how did you overcome them?
yeah. So the probably one of the bigger ones, well, I barely got into my program. I was on the edge. They said I didn't get accepted. At first, I went back to the instructor. I said, "Listen, I really want in. I know I'm close. I promise I will work hard and make sure that it was a good fit." And they let me in because I showed that initiative. So I got into that program, which was awesome. Um, and so also just trying things. My first job, I actually ended up applying. It was 26 times. I think it took me 26 tries to finally get this job where I wanted to work, and then from there, it took me many years to gain the confidence and build up some savings to actually leave my full-time job. And so that was a challenge itself, was to have to build up the courage to actually leave my job. um so but yeah, staying with it, right, and building up the savings, building up the skills, those are some of the things that helped me do that.
All right. So, how has your industry evolved over the year, and how have you adapted to the changes?
Yeah. So online marketing has changed quite a bit. Facebook ads used to be much, much cheaper. Google ads was much, much cheaper, not as complicated. TikTok comes around and it's the new platform. It's always changing, right? The different platforms, ClickFunnels and High Level, for example. The big one right now, obviously, I think, is AI chatbots and Chat GPT, and staying on top of all that. And so it's even just staying on top of all the changes of High Level is can take you a lot of time just to be aware of what's going on there. But yeah, AI chatbots, I think it's a good thing, right? It's like, at least it's always changing, and you get to keep learning new things. But yeah, you have to enjoy staying on top of things, because usually when a new platform comes out, there was Clubhouse, there was Reels, there's Instagram stories, Instagram itself. Usually when a new platform comes out, the ads are cheaper because they're trying to draw in a new audience. And so sometimes if you can be that first mover and be early to a platform, that can be you can just kind of ride that wave. So it is good to be on the forefront and seeing what's coming. And AI, I think, definitely surprised a lot of people how fast. I mean, I had been hearing about AI for a few years, but then it just, man, now it's here.
All right. So, could you share some insight into your creative process or approach to problem solving?
Okay. Um, a lot of what I do on my YouTube channel is share my screen, right? So I am thinking about. I try not to. I try to assume that people don't know what I try, even though something might be easy for you, because you're teaching it and stuff. I try to assume that people haven't done this before. You have to kind of take a step back and say, people don't know this stuff, yeah, out of the gate. So trying to make it very accessible to people. I like to demonstrate a lot of things on my channel personally. Um, but yeah, other than that, I have just spent a lot of time in my career troubleshooting things. A lot of Googling around and research and trying to figure things out. And so a lot of my experience is just because I've spent so much time, uh, you know, using software, troubleshooting it, having to figure out, get help. A lot of it does just come with experience.
Okay. So, what are your role models or source of inspiration in your field?
Yeah, so I would say early on when I was getting out of debt from college, I was listening to like a lot of Dave Ramsey. He's a big guy on paying off your car loans and getting out of student loan debt. Um, so I listened to a lot of his show growing up there. Seth Godin is another author I like. Right now, Ryan Holiday is a big source. What I like about Ryan is he's an author. He's all he writes about the Stoics. Ego is the enemy, discipline is destiny. You know his books and stuff too. Have you heard of his books? Not
No.
yet. You have to, yeah, you have to check him out. Ryan Holiday. The obstacle is the way. A bunch of perennial seller. The Daily Dad. He's just like this. His whole, all of his books are all about like wisdom from the Stoics, Seneca. A bunch of people I didn't, a bunch of old dead people that you hear that they're quoted a lot. Marcus Aurelius. I mean, I wouldn't even know, but I just love all the wisdom that comes from his writings. And I also like he owns a bookstore. He lives on a farm. He kind of just he's an author. I just kind of I like his style. He seems pretty humble, but yeah, he's also very successful. So yeah, Dave Ramsey, Seth Godin, Ryan Holiday. Um, so those are a few.
All right. So, how do you balance your professional life, your personal life, and hobbies?
Yeah, well, for the longest time, I would do I would do this in the evenings and on Saturdays, and I would actually take time off from work. I'd take paid time off from work and do this stuff. So in a way, what I do now is kind of my hobby. I enjoyed it. Um, I have a family, so most of my time is spent, spending time with the kids. A lot of them are in basketball right now, so every night, most nights I might be going to a different kid's basketball game. I try to keep my hours right. So I try to get off at like 5 o'clock or so and come up for dinner and be with the family. So I still kind of work a normal work day. But the thing is I don't necessarily have to. I could take a half day. I could take a half day off, or I could get started a little bit later in the morning. Um, but and then on the flip side, if it is in the evening, I can be answering some questions on my phone. I can be checking in on Facebook, helping people, that kind of thing. So in a way, the two worlds do kind of overlap, but I think it's good to keep them separate too. So
All right. So, can you tell us about any upcoming project or initiative that you have excited about?
um right now I'm kind of in between projects. One of the cool ones that I built last year was called GHL Bounty Hunters. It was this website. You come in and you pledge a price, $100 to get something fixed, and then I would match you with someone that would fix it, and then I would take a percentage cut of that. That was a really fun project. Right now, I'm kind of in between projects, so I don't really I don't really have that next project. Just kind of making videos, doing some consulting. Um, but yeah, it's just kind of the day to day work.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to someone aspiring to have a successful career in your industry?
Okay, so well, I think I think there's like three big things in this industry, which is you got to be able to do sales, right? You got to be able to make sales, talk to people, right? And then I think, and then you have to know that some of the tech side, you have to be able to set up some of the tech. So you have to be kind of technical or partner with someone who is the sales. And I also think like offers and ads. So I think if you can learn advertising and make profitable ads, and then you have someone that can make sales, and then you have someone that can actually run the tech side of things. I think, and it's hard to do it all yourself. Um, but yeah, and then I don't know, commit yourself to study, right? There's so much great information on YouTube for free as well. You know, also, I mean, there's so many directions you can go as well, right? It's a big industry. You could be a copywriter. You could be Facebook ads only. You could be just TikTok ads. You could be just Google ads, just high level. It can be overwhelming. So I guess you kind of need to pick. Are you going to be like this a generalist that does a lot of things? Kind of, you kind of do it, or are you going to be like a specialist? So have you thought about that? Are you more of a generalist or a specialist?
I don't know.
No. What are some of your skill sets? I mean, you're obviously doing live streaming right now.
Hmm.
What do you want to do?
Interview?
You want to do interviews?
Yeah.
How do you what skills do you have? Do you have ads or fun? Do you make funnels? Do you use software or what? How do you make income of money?
Not yet.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. So, how do you stay updated with the latest trend and development in your field?
So my biggest thing right now is staying on top of what high level is putting out. So constantly, I'm in the Facebook group. I see that okay, this new thing came out. You know, the affiliate manager, proposals and estimates, different things. And so keeping abreast of those updates, that's the biggest thing. Also, just paying attention to the questions that people are asking, right? And just seeing where things are going. Like we talked about, AI is coming on strong, just getting a sense what everyone's talking about and what people are asking and having questions.
Okay. So, can you share some of your favorite memories or experience from your career journey?
Yeah, so a lot of the work that you do, at least for me, is from my home. I'm downstairs in my home, and it's really the times that you can get out and go to conferences, meet people in person. Whether it was Funnel Hacking Live or whether it was the High Level Summit or SaaSpreneur event. Even locally, there's some groups that meet up. So probably just those experiences of kind of traveling and attending conferences. Um, that's probably some of my favorite memories.
Okay. So, how do you handle stress and pressure in your line of work?
Yeah, so it is very stressful. In fact, I've actually gone through a period where I wasn't sleeping very well at night. And it's very, it can be very hard because you're all on your own. You don't have that security. You don't have the steady paycheck, right? And I actually had an experience where I had some savings, but it was kind of getting slow, and I was like, it wasn't like I was gonna not be able to buy food that month, but I was just really nervous about digging into my savings, and that started to get me down. I kind of got depressed. I wasn't busy all day long, and I actually, like I said, I wasn't sleeping well at night, and I didn't handle it very well. It was it made me wonder if I should go back to a job where there's steady work, benefits, a little bit more normal, and not just because it's the freedom is great, but also like, what if you just like sitting around all day because you can? That's not really good either, and it can be depressing. So, yeah, it's a big deal. Um, it's a very big deal. So I think having savings, having recurring income, so that if you have affiliate income or SaaS income, then you know that you kind of, okay, I've got this much money coming in, I should be good. But yeah, I know there's a lot of people that are stressed out because they're on their own. They don't have a full time job. Sometimes it's busy and sometimes it's slow. So yeah, I mean savings, and also you just, if things are slow, you're probably uncomfortable. You probably need to put yourself out there more. Like I'm not much of a, I'm kind of a computer guy. I'm not too much of the sales guy. Had I been more on sales, maybe it wouldn't have been as feeling so slow at that time. So, I would say I didn't handle it very well sometimes. And it can be hard. It can be very hard.
Okay, so my last question is, how do you give back to your community or support cause that are important to you?
Yeah, I believe in that. I mean, like I said, I have kids, and sometimes I'll volunteer to be the basketball coach for the community, that kind of thing. I think of my YouTube channel. I've put hundreds of hours, for free. I'm putting out stuff I think people would benefit from. I feel like that's kind of how I give back is through that channel. I also just help people a lot. Just I'm in the Facebook groups. People have questions. Maybe I've already answered the question on my YouTube channel. I just go grab the link, share it with them. I really think like that's how I give back through through charity. I be definitely like there's like days of service where you go out and help clean up yard debris and things like that. Helping mow a neighbor's lawn, shovel snow, just that kind of a general attitude of helping and serving others is definitely important.
Okay, that's great. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insight, experience, and wisdom with us today. Your journey is a testament to the power of creativity, resilience, and dedication. I am sure our audience has been both inspired by our conversation. Thank you so much, sir.
You bet. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much.